a hero who constructed the Inari Nakae Irrigation Canal. The true story of Goroemon Tsukada. During the Edo period, the rice fields to the west of the Seki River in Kasuga and Nawetsu lacked water and so suffered from poor rice production. The farmers in that region lived a very poor, desolate life. The man who built the Inari Nakae irrigation canals to save these people was named Goroemon Tsukada. This is his story. Let's begin. Long, long ago, some 250 years ago, in the land called Omi, which is close to what is now Lake Biwa in Shiga Prefecture, a baby boy was born. His name was Goroemon Katsuyori. During the Edo period, when Goroemon grew up, the rice fields dried up under the shining sun, and even the wells went dry. Because they could not grow any rice, the people were poor and lived a hard life. These terrible conditions continued for years and years. In the midst of these terrible conditions, Goroemon was raised in loving care by his parents, and he studied hard and helped his family. Whatever he thought was right, he would work hard to see it through to completion. He grew up to have a strong heart. Even the adults were surprised to see the way he thought and acted. Also, Goroemon's father was a merchant, and Goroemon would sometimes accompany his father to Echigo, now Niigata, when he was a boy. Goroemon grew up to be a fine young man. For business, and perhaps because of fate, he entered the Tsukada house in Shimogomachi in Takara, now Honcho Rokuchome in Joetsu City. He went to work at a calligraphy brush store. He worked hard from the beginning and listened carefully to his neighbors. Soon he was loved by the people of the castle town Takara, and he became very popular. When Goroemon was about 30 years old, the lord of the Takada clan at the time, Masaatsu Sakakibara, heard of Goroemon's good reputation and summoned him. "It has come to my attention that you are a hard worker and are well liked by the people here. For the sake of the Takada clan and for me, will you work for me as a town leader?" Hearing this, Goroemon replied, "If I can be of service to the townspeople and the Takada clan, I will take the position." In fact, the town leader was chosen by the townspeople and was a position of some power. The town leader was influential and managed all of the town's affairs. In addition, he was given a samurai name and was allowed to carry a sword. Goroemon worked hard in his new role as town leader, for the people, for the Takada clan. In those days, the Takada clan was always trying to save money to make the clan more prosperous. Also, they were trying to somehow increase the rice production in the area. There was an idea to make open land into rice fields, but only a few of the new fields produced rice. The new fields didn't have enough water to become good rice fields, and much of the land went to waste. The lord of the clan was always worrying about how to improve these wasted rice fields. Goroemon, too, looked at the barren rice fields and wondered how he might make them useful. At that time, rice fields to the west of the Seki River used Nishi Nakae irrigation water, which was supplied by canals built in an earlier era. The Nakae canals were built by the former elder of the Takada domain, Mimasaka Oguri. and are responsible for much of the landscape we see in Tsukada today. Nishi Nakae irrigation canals took water from the Yashiro River at Doniwa, now Tokaichi in Myoko City, to irrigate the rice fields on the west side of the Seki River. However, the water level of Yashiro River decreased during the summer. After just a few sunny days, the water would dry up, and so would the rice fields. The rice plants that had been so carefully planted would dry and wither. The farmers who lived downstream in Kasuga and Naoetsu had a hard time every year. Goroemon thought about how to help the struggling farmers every day. At times, he wandered around the valleys of Mount Kanaya or Mount Namba to see if there was water there to help. He wondered if he could dig a well and draw irrigation water from the well. He walked all around Tsukada searching for a solution. One time, Goroemon thought he could draw water from Futagojima, now Sekigawa-cho in Myoko City, and Shimada Kamishinden in Joetsu. He thought that would be one way to bring water of the Seki River to the dry areas of Tsukada, so he started construction. The construction went through Otoyoshi village, now part of Myoko City. The village elder, Denzaemon, took charge of the construction. Unfortunately, Futagojima was so far away that maintenance of the canals became too expensive. As for Shimada Kamishinden, it lay below the Seki River, so it was hard to draw water from there. Finally, it became too difficult to maintain the two new canals, and all the construction was for nothing. Many days and months passed. One February, the elders from the villages downriver, which used the Nishi Nakae irrigation canals, called on Goroemon. "We can't grow rice because we're all downriver. There ain't enough water. If it keeps going like this, we're all gonna die. You've got to get more water coming down the Nishi Nakae canals so we can use it." Hearing their appeal, Goroemon said, "I believe I understand fully your suffering. Come with me to the lord of the castle, and we shall ask him for help." Even more than before, Goroemon became obsessed with getting more water to the wasted rice fields, so they could produce more rice and help the people who lived there. Then Goroemon once again researched ways to bring more water from the Seki River to the farmers. He discovered that although it would be a tremendous construction, if he succeeded, he could bring water to all the wasted rice fields and even build more rice fields with the new water. He had found a way. Goroemon, the officials, and the village elders immediately set off to meet the lord of the Tsukada domain. "If it continues like this, the farmers won't be able to grow rice, and they will die of starvation. Even if we have to use our own money, please let us build an irrigation canal. I have found that although the construction would be difficult, if we complete it, there would be enough water for all of the rice fields now, and even enough water to build new rice fields." The farmers bowed their heads. "Please, my lord." Hearing their suffering, the Lord said, "I understand your suffering. As lord of this domain, I will support you as much as I can. Goroemon will be in charge of the construction, but you all must help him to complete the project." Hearing that, Goroemon and the others' joyful spirit rose to the heavens. At that moment, Goroemon made a solemn promise in his heart to finish the project, even if it cost him his life. Goroemon, who finally got permission to build the irrigation canals, was busy every day. But there was a problem with the construction. To build an irrigation canal, the ditch has to be the same width the whole way. In those days, many different people had their own land through the rice fields, and each farmer wanted to make sure they got the best deal for themselves. This made it difficult to begin construction. Goroemon had to spend each day visiting the farmers and the villages and explaining the plan until they were finally satisfied. Among the villagers, there were some who started bad rumors. That Goroemon is just doing this to make himself famous. Or, he is favoring just one group of people over the others. Another time, Goroemon was about to be attacked by a violent mob. Nevertheless, Goroemon was never discouraged. He spent sleepless nights going around and trying to convince each villager of his plan. Even so, there were those who complained, saying, "We should increase the number of water inlets." In another village, they would say, "We want the water inlets to be wider." Everyone had their own request. If he listened to everyone's request, those who lived downstream would again not have enough water. Goroemon visited the villagers and said, "Try not to think of only your own village. I want you to think of all of the villages." The people who watched Goroemon's tireless efforts came to understand his reasoning, and one by one, those who agreed with the plan slowly increased. At last, everyone agreed and they decided to work together to build the canal. Goroemon got new courage from his victory and started the huge construction. To increase the amount of water, Goroemon decided to build an inlet from the Seki River at Kijima village, now Kijima in Joetsu City. Goroemon was the head of the entire construction, and he directed a great number of villagers who toiled through rain and wind, swinging their hoes and plows. Goroemon prayed every day to the gods at Kawara Yaki Inari Shrine, now Kawara Shrine, at Nakamachi, Nichome, in Joetsu City. Please let the construction finish successfully as soon as possible. Let those working on the canals finish the work without injury. However, in those days, unlike today, there were no machines to dig the earth. Everyone was digging by hand, and the going was slow. Some of the villagers began complaining. "Even if we build this darn thing, the water will never make it from Seki River." Others could be heard saying, "Even if we work so hard, it'll never amount to anything." Even so, Goroemon continued day by day with the construction, until one day it happened. One of the farmers who was digging hit something with his hoe. "This is different from the dirt or stones," he thought, as he slowly and carefully unearthed what he had found. Could this be the Buddha? He was frozen in surprise as the dirt fell off a small wooden statue of the Buddha. Goroemon arrived, wondering, "What's all this noise?" And as he walked closer, he could see for himself. This must be the Buddha." Hearing his voice, the laborers, tanned dark by the sun, gathered around in excitement and started shouting, "Ain't it the Buddha? The Buddha! The Buddha! The Buddha has appeared!" Until finally one of them spoke. "Hey, y'all better be careful or you might get cursed. This Buddha's come to watch over our work. Thanks be, thanks be." Tears welled up in the eyes of Goroemon who is watching this scene silently. After that, the work progressed faster than ever. After a year, the water was almost ready to be released, and Goroemon and the others were so happy. But at the moment the water was released, the water didn't flow. The construction was very difficult for those times, and, in fact, the calculation of the inclination was wrong. Goroemon was greatly disappointed, but he couldn't quit because so many were counting on him. Once again, he regained his courage and went to work on a better construction. This time, so that the water flow would be better, it is said that he measured the incline at night using a lantern. In this way, although funds from the Tsukada domain and the contributions from the villages were no longer enough, Goroemon and 2 others used their own personal funds to continue the construction until the Inari Nakae Irrigation Canal was built. At that time, the Lord of Tsukada, Sakakibara Masaatsu, passed his title to his son, Masanori. Masanori was determined to make the rather poor Tsukada domain into a prosperous one. Averaging the yearly tribute to be paid, digging the Inari Nakae Irrigation Canal, digging the Shinbori River for drainage, planting the Saihama Forest, opening the Akakura Hot Springs, promoting study and promoting hard-working officials were some of the projects of this great leader. Masanori was so happy and summoned Goroemon. You have done well by finishing construction of this canal to help the farmers. I shall grant you a reward. In addition, I name you the water god of Kawarayaki Inari Shrine. Goroemon was overcome with joy. Thank you so much. I humbly accept your gift, he replied. By making Goroemon a guardian of irrigation water, we can understand how the new lord wanted to focus on building irrigation and how important it was to the Tsukada clan. Kawara Shrine in Nakamachi, Nicho-me is called Inari Nakae Yosui because it serves the spirit of rice, Inari. Also, it was nicknamed Tsukada Water from Goroemon's surname. Further, 1 year later, a secondary canal, the Konakae Canal, was built to spread irrigation water even more widely in the region. Thanks to this irrigation system, those downriver from the Nishi Nakae irrigation system were never again short of water. They were able to produce lots of rice and were very, very thankful. Goroemon Tsukada, who worked as a town elder in the Tsukada clan, in addition to completing the large-scale construction of the Inari Nakae Irrigation Canal, developed sasagamine, cultivated potatoes in Akakura, developed the Kanaya district and the Saiga-ike Lake in Takidera. He was involved in many, many projects and had a great part in developing Tsukada. However, with many people missing him, he passed away at the age of 59. Later, at the beginning of the Meiji era, the inlet of the Inari Nakae Irrigation Canal was moved from Kijima Village to Hiroshima Village, now part of Miyoko City. At the time, including the last stream, the length of the canal was some 20 kilometers and was said to irrigate about 669 hectares of fields. The Inari Nakae Irrigation Canal, along with the Uai Irrigation Canal and the Nakae Irrigation Canal, which irrigate the east side of the Seki River, and the Obuke Irrigation Canal, which irrigates the Kubiki district in the northern plains of Tsukada, are said to make up the 4 great irrigation waters of the Tsukada Plain. Seki River, from where the Inari Nakae Canal takes its water, is also known for being a raging river. Floods often occur, such as the Great Flood of July 11, 1995. As a result, the Seki River Inlet at Toshuko has been moved to its current position. Also, because of home building, new roads, and other development, the area served by the Inari Irrigation Canal is now less than 1/2 its original area, at some 278 hectares. Now, some 200 years after the construction of the Inari Nakae Irrigation Canal, Goroemon's legacy remains significant, and he is respected by those in the region as his story is passed on. The end.